My beloved child. The universe is always speaking to you, even in the moments when everything feels silent and uncertain, and right now, what you are experiencing is not confusion but a quiet transformation that is guiding you towards something deeply meaningful, because when the universe prepares you for your soulmate, it does not simply bring another person into your life without first reshaping your heart, your mindset, and your emotional strength. And that is why you may notice that your desires are changing. The things that once excited you no longer feel the same, the connections that once felt important are slowly fading, and even though this phase may feel lonely at times, it is not a punishment but a sacred process where the universe is clearing away everything that no longer aligns with the love you are meant to receive, because your soulmate is not someone temporary or confusing, they are someone who will meet you in clarity, in peace, and in truth, and for that kind of connection to enter your life, you must first become aligned with it yourself, which is why you are being guided to choose peace over chaos, self-respect over validation, and patience over impulsive attachment, and even though you may not always understand why certain people leave or why certain situations fall apart just when you thought they would stay, you must trust that every ending you are facing right now is actually a redirection towards something far more beautiful, because the universe sees what you cannot yet see, it knows who is truly meant for you and who is not, and it removes anything that would disturb the deep, soulful connection that is being prepared for you, and my child, this is your sign that you are no longer the same person you used to be, you are evolving, you are growing, and most importantly, you are no longer willing to accept half-love, mixed signals, or temporary emotions disguised as something real. And this shift within you is powerful because it means you are stepping into a higher version of yourself, one that is ready to experience a love that feels safe, genuine, and lasting. But before that love arrives, you are being taught one of the most important lessons of all, which is to find completeness within yourself, to understand that you are already whole, already worthy, and already enough, because your soulmate is not coming to fix you or fill a void inside you. They are coming to walk beside you, to share a connection that is built on mutual understanding, respect, and emotional depth, and this is why the waiting period is necessary, because during this time, both you and your soulmate are being prepared separately, healing from past wounds, learning important lessons, and becoming the people you need to be in order to sustain a love that is not fragile but strong and enduring. And even though patience may feel difficult, you must not rush this process or settle for something less just because you feel tired of waiting, because what is meant for you will never require you to chase it endlessly or question your worth. It will come with clarity, with effort, and with a sense of peace that you have never experienced before, and until that moment arrives, you are being asked to trust the journey, to trust the delays, and to trust the timing that is unfolding in your life, because every step you are taking right now, even the ones that feel slow or uncertain, are leading you closer to the person who is meant to stay, and somewhere, at this very moment, your soulmate is also going through their own journey, facing their own challenges, learning their own lessons, and becoming ready for you in ways you cannot yet imagine, and when the time is right, when both of you have grown into the versions of yourselves that can truly recognize and appreciate this connection, the universe will bring you together in a way that feels natural, effortless, and undeniable, and it will not feel confusing or forced. It will feel like peace, like home, like something your soul has always known. So do not lose hope during this phase, do not let temporary loneliness make you doubt your path, and do not go back to what you have already outgrown just because it feels familiar, because you are not being delayed, you are being prepared, and everything that is happening right now is shaping you for a love that will not break you but build you, that will not confuse you but understand you, and that will not leave you questioning but will give you a sense of certainty that you have never felt before. So stay patient, stay strong, and most importantly, stay true to yourself, because the universe is working quietly behind the scenes, aligning everything perfectly, removing what is not meant for you, and guiding what is meant for you closer with every passing day. And one day, when you look back at this phase of waiting and transformation, you will realize that nothing was ever random, nothing was ever wasted, and every moment was leading you exactly where you were always meant to be, right into the arms of a love that was worth every second of the wait. My beloved child, as you continue walking this path of quiet transformation, there will be moments when your faith feels tested, when your heart wonders how much longer this waiting will last, and when your mind tries to convince you that perhaps love is not meant for you in the way you deeply desire. But you must understand that these thoughts are only temporary shadows passing through a mind that is learning to trust something greater than what it can see, because the universe does not place such deep longing in your heart without also creating a path for it to be fulfilled. And even now, while you question the timing, there are countless unseen forces aligning in your favor, gently arranging circumstances, shifting energies, and guiding both you and your soulmate closer with every passing moment, even if it feels like nothing is happening on the surface. And this is where your strength is truly being built, not in moments of instant gratification, but in the patience you hold when everything feels uncertain, in the faith you carry when there is no visible proof, and in the love you continue to nurture within yourself despite not yet receiving it from another. Because this phase is not just about waiting for someone to enter your life, it is about becoming someone who no longer loses themselves in love, someone who understands their own worth so deeply that they do not accept anything less than what they truly deserve. And that is why you are being guided to spend more time with yourself, to understand your own emotions, to heal the parts of you that once settled for less, and to build a connection with your own soul that is so strong that when your soulmate finally arrives, you will not feel dependent or incomplete, but instead you will feel ready, balanced, and whole. And my child, this kind of preparation is rare and sacred, because not everyone reaches this level of awareness before entering a relationship. And that is why so many connections fail, because they are built on need rather than understanding, on attachment rather than alignment. But your story is being written differently, your love is being designed to last, and for that, the foundation must be strong. And even though it may feel like you are being asked to wait longer than others, you must not compare your journey to anyone else's, because what is meant for you is far deeper, far more meaningful, and far more aligned than anything you have seen around you. And the universe is taking its time not to delay your happiness, but to protect it, to ensure that when love finally enters your life, it does not come with confusion, inconsistency, or pain, but with clarity, stability, and a sense of emotional safety that allows you to truly be yourself without fear. And as you continue to grow, you may also notice that your standards are rising, that you no longer feel attracted to people who once held your attention, and that you are becoming more selective about who you allow into your space. And this is not you becoming distant or difficult, this is you becoming aligned. This is you recognizing that your energy is valuable and that not everyone deserves access to your heart. And this realization is one of the clearest signs that you are moving closer to your soulmate, because you are no longer willing to entertain connections that do not reflect the depth of love you are meant to experience. And while this may sometimes feel isolating, it is actually creating space for the right person to enter, because the universe cannot bring something meaningful into a space that is already filled with what is temporary, and so it gently removes, it quietly shifts, and it patiently waits for you to fully step into your own power. And my child, there will come a moment, perhaps when you least expect it, when everything begins to make sense, when the waiting no longer feels heavy, when your heart feels calm instead of restless, and when you realize that you are no longer searching for love, because you have found peace within yourself, and it is in that very moment that the universe often brings your soulmate into your life, not when you are desperate or doubting, but when you are aligned, when you are steady, and when you are no longer chasing but simply allowing, and when this connection finally arrives, it will not feel like something you have to question or overanalyze. It will feel natural, like two souls recognizing each other beyond words, like a connection that flows without force, where communication feels easy, presence feels comforting, and love feels safe rather than overwhelming, and you will understand then why everything had to happen the way it did, why certain people had to leave, why certain situations had to fall apart, and why you had to go through this period of growth and solitude, because without it, you would not have been ready to receive something so real, and so lasting, and so deeply aligned with who you truly are. And so I ask you, my beloved child, to trust this journey even when it feels slow, to honor this phase even when it feels lonely, and to believe in what is being prepared for you even when you cannot yet see it, because the universe is never late. It is only precise, and everything that is meant for you is already on its way, moving through time and space to reach you at the exact moment when your heart is ready to receive it. So stay patient, stay open, and most importantly, stay true to the person you are becoming, because that person is the one your soulmate is meant to meet, and when that meeting finally happens, it will not just be a moment, it will be the beginning of something that feels like destiny fulfilled, like a promise the universe made to your soul long before you even understood it. And until that day arrives, keep moving forward with faith, because every step you take is bringing you closer to the love that was always meant to find you. My beloved child. And as this journey continues to unfold in ways you cannot always understand, there will be days when you feel strong and deeply connected to your purpose, and there will also be days when a quiet heaviness sits in your heart and makes you question everything you have been believing in, and in those moments, it is important to remind yourself that growth is not a straight path, it is a cycle of rising and falling, learning and unlearning, healing and evolving, and every emotion you feel along the way is a part of this sacred preparation that is shaping you into someone capable of holding a love that is deep, stable, and true, because the universe is not only preparing your soulmate for you, it is also preparing you for them in ways that go far beyond what you can currently see or imagine. And sometimes that preparation requires you to face parts of yourself that you have been avoiding, to let go of patterns that once felt comfortable, and to release attachments that were never meant to last, even if they once felt important to you, because holding on to what is not meant for you only delays what truly is, and the universe, in its quiet wisdom, knows exactly what needs to be removed, what needs to be healed, and what needs to be strengthened within you before the right person can enter your life. And my child, you must not mistake this phase of solitude as emptiness, because it is actually fullness in disguise. It is a time where your soul is learning how to stand on its own, how to feel complete without external validation, and how to create a sense of peace that does not depend on anyone else's presence, because when your soulmate finally arrives, the love you share will not be based on need or dependency, it will be based on choice, on mutual respect, and on a deep understanding of each other's inner world. and that kind of connection can only exist when both people have taken the time to know themselves, to heal themselves, and to grow into their highest version. And even though you may sometimes feel like you are ready now, like you have already done enough, you must trust that the universe sees the bigger picture. It sees the timing of your lives aligning, it sees the lessons that are still unfolding, and it knows exactly when the moment will be right. And until that moment arrives, every experience you go through is adding something valuable to your journey. Every delay is teaching you patience, every disappointment is strengthening your self-worth, and every moment of silence is deepening your connection with your own soul. And these are not small things, these are the very foundations of the love you are being prepared for. And one day, when you are standing in that love, when you are looking into the eyes of someone who truly understands you, you will realize that nothing you went through was unnecessary. Every tear, every lesson, every moment of doubt was shaping you for that exact connection, and you will feel grateful, not for the pain itself, but for the way it transformed you into someone who could finally receive what they always deserved. And my beloved child, there is something else you must understand. Your soulmate is not just someone who will bring happiness into your life, they are also someone who will mirror your growth, who will challenge you to continue evolving, and who will walk beside you as you both build something meaningful together. And this is why it is so important that you do not rush into something just because it feels close to what you want. Because almost love is not your destiny, confusion is not your destiny. Inconsistency is not your destiny is something far more peaceful, far more stable, and far more real. And that is why the universe is being so careful with your journey, that is why it is taking its time, and that is why it is asking you to trust even when it is difficult, because what is being prepared for you is not ordinary. It is something that will align with your soul in a way that you have never experienced before, and as you move forward, you may begin to notice small signs, subtle shifts, moments of clarity where your heart feels lighter, where your mind feels calmer, and where you feel a quiet sense of knowing that something beautiful is on its way. And these are not coincidences, these are gentle reminders from the universe that you are on the right path, that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and that you are being guided toward a connection that will not only bring love into your life, but will also bring growth, understanding, and a deep sense of belonging. And so I ask you to hold on to your faith, even in the moments when it feels fragile, to continue choosing yourself, even when it feels lonely, and to keep moving forward, even when you cannot see the full picture, because every step you take is bringing you closer to the moment when everything changes, the moment when the waiting turns into meeting, when the uncertainty turns into clarity, and when the love you have been preparing for finally becomes your reality. And when that day comes, you will not need to question it, you will not need to chase it, and you will not need to fear losing it, because it will feel right, it will feel steady, and it will feel like something your soul has always known. And until then, my child, remain patient, remain hopeful, and most importantly, remain true to the journey you are on, because the universe is not ignoring you, it is guiding you, step by step, toward a love that will arrive not as a lesson, but as a blessing, not as confusion, but as clarity, and not as something temporary, but as something that is truly meant to stay in your life for all the right reasons. My beloved child. And now, as you stand deeper within this sacred unfolding, there is a quiet maturity rising inside you that you may not even fully recognize yet, a calm strength that does not seek validation, a silent understanding that not everything meant for you needs to be chased. And this is where your transformation becomes truly powerful, because you are no longer reacting to life the way you once did, You are beginning to respond with awareness, with patience, and with a sense of inner stability that is rare, and it is in this very state that the universe draws your soulmate closer, because the love you are meant to experience requires this level of emotional depth, this level of self-awareness, and this level of inner peace. And while earlier you may have desired love that was intense, consuming, and fast-moving, now your soul is craving something different, something calmer, something more grounded, something that feels like a safe place rather than a storm. And this shift is not accidental, it is intentional. It is the universe refining your desires so that when love finally arrives, you recognize it not by how loud it is, but by how peaceful it feels. And my child, this is one of the biggest signs that you are getting closer, because true soulmate connections do not enter your life through chaos, they arrive through alignment, through timing, and through a deep sense of readiness that exists within both souls. And as you continue to grow, you may notice that you are no longer interested in proving your worth to anyone, you are no longer trying to hold on to people who are unsure about you, and you are no longer shrinking yourself just to be accepted. And this is not you becoming distant, this is you stepping into your true self, this is you honoring your value, and this is exactly what prepares you for a connection where you will be fully seen, fully accepted, and fully appreciated for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. And even though this level of growth can sometimes feel isolating, because not everyone around you will understand this change, you must not let that discourage you, because the path you are walking is not meant to be crowded, it is meant to be meaningful, and every step you take away from what is not aligned is a step closer to what truly is. And the universe is watching this, it is responding to your choices, and it is aligning circumstances in ways that you cannot yet perceive, bringing people, moments, and opportunities into your life that will eventually lead you to your soulmate. And sometimes this guidance will come in subtle ways, a sudden urge to go somewhere, a random conversation that feels significant, a moment that seems ordinary but later reveals its importance. And you must learn to trust these small nudges, because the universe often works through the simplest of moments to create the most profound outcomes. And my beloved child, there is something deeply important you must remember. As you move forward, your soulmate is not just someone who will love you at your best, they are someone who will understand you at your worst, someone who will stand beside you not only in moments of joy but also in moments of doubt, someone who will not run when things become difficult but will stay and grow with you. And this is why the preparation you are going through is so necessary. Because you are not being prepared for a temporary connection, you are being prepared for something lasting. Something real, something that will require both love and strength, both passion and patience, and both understanding and effort. And as you continue to evolve, you may also begin to feel a sense of detachment from timelines, from expectations, and from the pressure to have everything figured out. And this is a beautiful sign, because it means you are beginning to trust life itself. You are beginning to understand that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and that the right person will come at the right time without force, without confusion, and without you having to question your place in their life. And when that moment finally arrives, it will not feel like something you have to fight for, it will feel like something that naturally fits, like two lives coming together in harmony, like a connection that flows instead of forcing its way through obstacles. And you will realize then that all the waiting, all the growth, all the moments of uncertainty were leading you exactly here, to a love that feels aligned with who you have become, and not who you once were. And so I ask you, my child, to embrace this phase fully, to not rush through it, to not resist it, and to not doubt it, because everything that is happening right now is serving a purpose, every lesson is shaping you. Every delay is protecting you, and every moment of growth is bringing you closer to the love that is meant to stay. And even now, as you read these words, there is movement happening in your life that you cannot see. There are paths crossing, energies aligning, and moments being prepared that will eventually lead you to your soulmate. And when it all comes together, it will feel effortless, it will feel certain, and it will feel like something that was always meant to be, not because it happened quickly, but because it happened at the right time. And until that moment arrives, continue to become the person you are meant to be, continue to grow, continue to heal, and continue to trust, because the universe is not just preparing your soulmate for you, it is preparing you for a love that will finally match the depth of your heart, the purity of your intentions, and the strength of your soul. And that, my beloved child, is a love worth waiting for. My beloved child. And now, as you reach the final stretch of this unseen yet deeply meaningful journey, there is something within you that has quietly changed forever, something that no longer seeks constant reassurance, something that no longer fears being alone, and something that finally understands that love was never meant to be chased, forced, or begged for, but simply recognized when it arrives in its true form. And this realization, my child, is the greatest transformation of all, because you are no longer the same person who once searched for validation in temporary connections. You are no longer the one who confused attention with love or silence with rejection. You have grown beyond that. You have evolved into someone who understands their own worth without needing it to be confirmed by others. And it is in this very state of self-realization that the universe completes its preparation. Because now you are not just ready to receive love, you are ready to sustain it, to nurture it, and to protect it without losing yourself in the process. And this is why everything had to happen the way it did, every delay, every heartbreak, every moment of confusion. It was never meant to break you, it was meant to shape you, to refine your heart, to strengthen your spirit, and to guide you toward a version of yourself that is aligned with the love you have always deserved. And even though there were times when you felt lost, when you questioned why things were not working out, when you wondered if something was wrong with you, you must now see the truth with clarity. Nothing was ever wrong with you. You were simply being redirected, protected, and prepared for something far greater than what you were settling for. And my beloved child, as you stand here now, you may notice a sense of calm that you did not have before, a quiet confidence that does not need to prove itself, and a deep understanding that what is meant for you will never pass you by. And this is the moment where everything begins to shift, not outside, but within you. Because when your inner world becomes peaceful, your outer world begins to reflect that same peace. And this is when the universe gently opens the door you have been waiting for, not with noise or chaos, but with a quiet certainty that feels almost surreal. And when your soulmate finally steps into your life, it will not feel like something new, it will feel familiar, like something your soul has always known but was simply waiting to experience in the right time. And there will be no need for games, no need for confusion, no need for constant questioning, because the connection will speak for itself. It will be consistent, it will be clear, and it will be steady in a way that brings you peace rather than anxiety. And you will realize then why nothing else ever worked out, because none of it was meant to stay, none of it was meant to match the depth of what you were being prepared for. And in that moment, all the waiting will make sense, all the lessons will feel worth it, and all the pain will transform into understanding. And you will no longer wish for things to have happened differently, because you will see that everything unfolded exactly as it needed to in order to bring you here, to this love, to this connection, to this moment of fulfillment. And my child, As beautiful as this union will be, it will not mark the end of your journey, but the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where love is no longer something you search for, but something you live, something you build, and something you grow together with someone who truly sees you, understands you, and values you, and this is the love you were always meant for, not something temporary, not something uncertain, but something real, something lasting, and something that continues to evolve as you both grow. And as you step into this new phase, remember everything you have learned. Remember the strength you have built, remember the self-worth you have discovered, and never lose that connection with yourself, because that is what allowed you to reach this point, and that is what will keep your love strong and balanced. And so, my beloved child, as this message comes to its end, I want you to carry this truth with you always. You were never forgotten, you were never left behind, and you were never denied love. You were simply being prepared for a love that matches your soul. A love that respects your heart, and a love that stays. And now, as everything aligns in its perfect timing, all that is left for you to do is trust, receive, and allow this beautiful chapter to unfold naturally, without fear, without doubt, and without hesitation, because what is coming into your life is not just love, it is the answer to every silent prayer your heart has ever made, and it is arriving not as a coincidence, but as destiny fulfilled.